and welcome back to Break Time Conversations, a YouTube channel where I have conversations around education. I have been a teacher all my life, and along this wonderful journey of mine, I have met and I continue to meet so many interesting and inspiring people. And so I decided to document my conversations with them here so that all of you can hear their stories and the amazing work that they do. I'm here today with the young and vibrant Prerna Kaushik. She's somebody I came across on LinkedIn, and she's the founder and school leader of AVP School. She's an education consultant. She is a TFI and a TISS alumna. She has over 8 years of experience in various aspects of creation, and she does content creation, I think, and does consultation for starting a preschool, K to 10 content creation, and career guidance for high school students. And what I find most amazing about Prerna is how young and energetic and how much she has accomplished so far at such a young age. Prerna, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored to have you here on my channel.
Thank you so much, Anupa. I think that was a very kind introduction. And I think I'm very excited to be here because it's a first time for me as well to be in a conversation like this. So thank you for reaching out.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad that you're here. So, Prerna, let's start off by, just talking about your journey. I mean, like someone as young as you, how did you get started? When did you get started? And let us know what you've done so far.
Yeah, so interestingly, I always wanted to open a school. I think from as long as I can remember when I was in grade three. Uh, but when I was in school, generally education is not something that is looked at something which is very aspirational and specifically for children who are academically strong. So the idea was always like, one day I'll become a doctor and then at 40, I'm going to retire and start a school. Um, or sometimes it was, when I realized that I don't want to be a doctor, I thought, you know what, I'll do an MBA at 40, I'll retire and I'll start a school. I just didn't know that this journey will begin so early on. So my journey actually started as a volunteer in a Teach for India classroom. And at the same time, I was also volunteering with another organization called Make a Difference. And this is while I was also preparing for, MBA entrance exams. But I very soon figured out that my heart went back and kept going back to the time that I was spending in those classrooms. So I decided to take up the fellowship, which is a 2-year program by TFI. And the rest is history. So it continued ever since. So I did my master's from TISS. I had multiple experiences with different organizations. And finally, we started AVP towards the end of 2021. And currently, I'm working at full time at AVP. We are working with students across nursery to 5. And what we're essentially trying to do is make quality education accessible.
That's amazing. Similarly, even I wanted to become a teacher because I was a terrible student myself and I hated school and I wanted to, go back to school and make it interesting for students like myself. So that's great. That's great, Prerna. I mean, how old are you actually? May I ask?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'm 29 currently.
Oh, I imagine being a founder and starting a school at 29. So why don't you tell us more about your school and, how did you start? How many students did you start off with and how many students do you have now?
Yeah, so the school is called Anant Valley Public School. We like to call it AVP. We started with actually only 11 students, and this was towards the end of 2021. And we started only with pre-primary. And currently, we are working with approximately 160 students across the grades of nursery to 5. One thing that I realized while, I was experiencing all these ground realities of education and at the same time also studying education at TISS was that the schooling system in India is extremely stratified. So basically, the kind of financial background you come from determines the quality of education your child can have access to. Um, and that question just kept coming back to me. I was like, that means that children are always going to be trapped in the same cycle if they do not get the access to the kind of education that every child deserves. Um, and that is where the thought of AVP started. Can we make a space which is one happy, safe for children to come, offers excellent education, and is still accessible? So in AVP, we focus primarily on developing 21st century skills. And we do it through various programs. So we have initiated a program called Project Pioneers, which is related to project based learning. Still not a concept that is much explored in the Indian education scenario. We have a program called Program, where children of grade 3 to 5 work with their peers who are studying currently in nursery and kindergarten, spend time with them, do activities with them so that they are able to foster compassion and also learn responsibility. We have another program which is aimed towards digital literacy. So we realize that is a major gap that children from under-resourced communities face as they grow up and want to access higher education. So with our partners at Computer Shiksha, actually we started that. So from grade 1, we have that. And similarly, so with by leveraging the power of community, I would say, and fostering such organizational partnerships, we are trying to give uh, what we call excellent education to our children, um, who come from varied backgrounds, obviously.
I love it. I love these two words, happy and safe. I also use them a lot because I just feel like it's so important to make our learners feel happy and safe. And I believe that only then will they actually learn. So you also mentioned, I mean, you talk a lot about quality education. So I also work with schools that, we're always on a budget and, we don't always have the amazing resources that many of the other schools do. So, Prerna, how do you still make sure? I know you also spoke about community and collaborations with other organizations. How would you still be able to focus on quality education without having the necessary, like, what people think are the resources required for quality education? So, how do you work with the less resources that you have?
I agree. I think that's a battle that is ongoing and constantly. So it's not like you solve for one problem, you solve for one issue, and then the next one pops up. But I think one thing that I really try to do is also have a culture, very strong culture in terms of stuff, where we have regular conversations that this is what we want to do. And we might not have all the resources, but let's see how to make this happen. So a lot of we have like a very democratic sort of um, culture which is built in school. And when I talk about like the space being safe and happy, it's not just for children, it's also for all the stakeholders that come in, for all the teachers. So we have like a very open line of communication, that what is it we can manage, how can we manage, given these are the only resources that we have. um, and I think a lot of time that works. So it's not a one person show, to be very honest. I couldn't have done without the wonderful team that I've been able to build. So there are times that I may be stuck, but then someone else comes up with an idea, maybe this is something that we can do. So simple things, like I'll give you an example. So we are doing summer camp currently, right? And we couldn't have sort of afforded to get experts from outside to teach our children the skills that we wanted. So we wanted to introduce theater like Nukkad. We wanted to introduce spoken English skills, and we were also experimenting with different forms of art. And we were like, what do we do? So each of our teachers volunteered. This is something that I'm slightly better at than the normal, so maybe I can work a little bit more, you can help me around with some plans and I can take this up. So one of our teachers is leading Nukkad right now, another is leading spoken English right now, Another is leading, teaching children skills of Canva. So that is something that we try to do. Apart from that, sometimes what helps is also like a constant communication that we keep making. So I think that is an effort that we are trying to make, that we also become very visible. So we have a constant newsletter, we have a system of WhatsApp by it, and we have people who are interested in this cause, and we keep circulating that. And sometimes just, help pops up. So I think there's a quote which is very popular in Harry Potter, where they say that help is given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it. So we also keep asking for help as and when we need it, and I think that's how it's going till now, and we hope that someday we'll be able to find like a much tangible solution. But this is what is sailing our boat currently.
I think you've already got it. I don't think you need another solution because it sounds to me that it's all about everyone pitching in, everyone using their strengths and supporting each other, correct? And it seems like
Yeah.
you're a real team working together. I think that's great. So what are the challenges, Prerna, that you have faced so far, especially as an entrepreneur starting something new and so young? And is there anything that you have faced, that you have overcome, and that you're very proud about?
So, so there's a long list of challenges that generally keeps going, but I'll just start with one which was really troubling us for a really long time, and today is special because today marks the day when we've actually started solving that problem concretely. Um, so when I started the school, this is a rural area. There was a lot of problem of drains being blocked and roads being broken, and it was not so much when I started, but 6 months later there was some construction activities happening, and the road right in front of school started becoming waterlogged. And at that time, I was just starting out. I had no idea how to talk to, local leaders, or how to reach out to those people. So I just, started what I knew. I thought, let me find something online. I found MCD's website. I made complaints, but nothing was happening. I would try. Someone would give me a call. I would say, this is an issue, and they would say, we're sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. And this went on for a few months until I thought, this is not going to cut it. um, so I started just commenting on social media to gain some attention, that this is a problem that we are facing, we need to solve it, which is when I actually received the first call, who guided me a little bit, that you need to go talk to this particular local leader to get your problems sorted. um, Again, I was like, how do I go talk to this person? I have no idea how to reach him. So I just typed on Google, so and so constituency, this contact number. And I got one contact number. Funnily enough, it was of the previously elected guy who directed me to the current leader. And we started, this was about almost a year ago. So 1 year ago, we finally reached him. We actually, made children write applications to the leader, that this is the problem. So our children of grade 3, 4, 5 at the time, they wrote letters that we are facing problem to reach school, and we want you to solve it. Along with like a formal application, we also submitted our children's letters. um, and it started then in about a year ago, back in June. So we would hear that we're going to do something, but nothing would happen. So we kept following up, following up, following up. And finally, today, the construction of road and drains has begun. So I think that is one of the biggest challenges that we've overcome in terms, because it wasn't sort of related directly to us, but also involved our community. Um, and still, like, we were able to like go out and solve it.
Yeah, I that your whatever you just said, it just tells how important it is for, education to be not only just about the textbook and about the classroom, but helping the school community look at the wider community out just outside of their school and work towards it. I think that's what education should be all about. So I think you have already taught your kids so much by, involving them. That's great, Prerna. And I'm sure there are greater things in store. And I'm sure through your school, you're going to change the entire community. I hope you do. So, as we come to the end of our conversation, it's been so wonderful. Why don't you quickly tell us what future plans you have? You've already told us about all that you've done and the different initiatives. Do you have any plans up your sleeve that you hope to roll out soon?
Yeah, definitely. So, this is just the beginning, to be honest. We do not want AVP just to be a school, but to be like a breeding ground of innovative practices. We want to build up those programs, and we want to take it to so many other schools, who are situated in similar context or facing similar problems. That is one, because we've been able to find solutions to some problems that we were facing. And the second is that I really want educators to start schools, because I feel there's so many people who are educators who want to start schools, but they just do not know where to begin, right? And currently, a lot of schools are being operated or being run by people who per se might not have a background in education. So we want to be able to develop AVP and its model in a way that it can be replicated by aspiring entrepreneurs in their own context. And that is the end goal. So we just want like to be able to make scale this, but not in form of a franchisee, but where everyone can add their personal context to it.
That sounds great, Prerna. And I wish you all the best as you fulfill all your dreams. And I wish you and your team and the students and everybody involved all the best.
Thank you so much, Anupa.
Okay, so bye for now, Prerna.
Bye bye. Take care.